Thank you. If I can please ask all of us to be seated.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's just the right thing to do before we start with this proceedings tonight. And I think it's just the right thing to do before we start with this proceedings tonight. Park a week and a half ago. The Kruger family is not only the people that work here. It's every visitor that comes here. And it were family members that we have lost. I have spoken with them. They said to me that retired because they wanted to be close to this place. And they asked me to urge every single person out there that loves the Kruger National Park to keep on coming to this park, because we cannot let the bad guys win. I would ask that you all please rise so that we have a moment of silence for Ernst and Dina Maree. And whilst that you all please rise so that we have a moment of silence for Ernst and Dina Maree. And whilst we are, it is over the last Dina Maree. And whilst we are, it is over the last Kruger. It is over the last Kruger. Let's remember. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start with the official proceedings, and I had to put the phone down. Ladies and gentlemen, the President had technical problems with his aircraft and unfortunately will not be able to join us tonight. He asked me to please convey his sorrow of not being able to be here. I had a discussion with the President earlier this week, and he looked so forward to be here. But there was a technical problem, and unfortunately will not be joining us. But I said to him, Mr. President, you know what? We are in the Kruger National Park, and although I'm not a ranger, I know what they do. They improvise. And that's what we're going to do tonight. We are going to improvise. The President asked me to convey his congratulations to the Kruger National Park, but I'll get to that when I do my formal speech later on. I just thought that I need to break the ice. So sorry for that, but you've got a great team that's going to help you through the night. Thank you very much.
Minister of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment, Mr. Willie Aucamp. Minister of Tourism, Patricia de Lille. Premier of Mpumalanga, Mandla Ndlovu. CEO of South African National Parks, Habilwe Sello. Members of the Executive Committee of SANParks, we'll call it that. That's the nickname you'll hear, South African National Parks, SANParks. Interim Chairperson of SANParks Board, Beryl Ferguson. Members of the SANParks Board, traditional and community leaders, members of the community here in the room today, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I thought, being in Mpumalanga, I will dabble in a few languages from here. So normally I'd say, my name is Tami Ngarimeng and I'm fondly known as the message architect, but I think it's appropriate tonight for me to say, Bitorame Itami Ngarimeng. I can carry on. Nyathemba nani nithabe khulu njengami. I've had the privilege of being here for the last few days. And you know, This could be about great outfits and great makeup, but I wanted to immerse myself in the culture of the Kruger National Park and just feel the spirit of what this place brings. I believe that all great things in life come in threes. Your DNA is in 3 strands: the sun, the moon, the stars, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and we recognize all the guides and the powers that be that will guide us tonight. So yes, I could spend the whole evening giving you my lessons, but I'll only give you 3. My first one is the fact that we speak a lot about partnership and collaboration. And often we don't speak about integration. We think that integration is missing. I saw a beautiful moment of integration that landed for me, and I thought it was a teachable moment, because not only do we lack education, but sometimes literacy. I had the privilege of going to a little kopi in the park yesterday that is named after a warden, Hamilton, with his wife's name there. The first thing that caught my eye, it looks like Pride Rock from The Lion King, and I love The Lion King. But when I asked for the explanation of what a warden is, it hit me. There's beautiful integration here, because the truth is, without conservation, a big chunk of tourism is missing. And without tourism, an aspect of conservation is missing too. And so we need to blow our own horns as South Africa, because Kruger shows us how beautifully we can integrate several departments. I also then learned that South Africa is recognized for its exceptional biodiversity, ranking amongst the top 3 globally. Not nationally, listen, not regionally, globally. I know that we have media here today, and I know we love to give the stories about the things that go wrong. Mind you, every country has things that go wrong. And so I hope that tomorrow we'll see the newspapers and the headlines telling everybody that we rank top 3 amongst biodiversity globally. There's good news to be told. The final thing that stuck out for me, it's not final, but I mean for this evening, is I was part of a program yesterday, the Beneficiation Scheme Framework Agreement signing yesterday. Stakeholders together, people who believe that the soil belongs to them, and it does, from ancestry to future. What was beautiful to watch was just picking up that key rapid understanding gains excellent results. What we picked up yesterday was that key rapid understanding among stakeholders. And if you listen very carefully as the message architect, key K, rapid R, understanding U, gains G, excellent E, results R. I just spelled Kruger for you. This is not about perfection. This is about progress. It's about sustainability. It's about the future. Yes, there's things that have happened over the last 100 years. It's a culmination of it all, the pain, the history, but also the good things, the constructive results, the KPIs reached, the KPIs not reached. That's why it is so rich. It's about building the future. We've reached this part for this 100 years, but man, oh man, I stand a proud child of South Africa saying the next 100 are going to be incredible. And we not only do this for ourselves, but we do it for the future generation. So I think it is appropriate that I'm in Mpumalanga and I say, kungebanga labantu abacha okufaka hlangana abesana nabenzana ukuze bazikhakhazise ngamasiko namagugu wemvelo. I officially welcome you all. Pele re tswela pele ka lenaneo la rena ke kgopela go lefa ditaelo tse di latelago. Feel free to keep your phones on, just on silent. Take as many photos and videos. Please post them on social media. If you've got nothing to say, just say, my dress looks nice. But we want people to know that we're having a great time here. We've worked hard for the last 100 years. We'll work even harder. All we ask is for you to please use our hashtag Kruger100, so that we can follow on the stories. It is a privilege to be in this room. Many would have loved to be here. So please share these moments. And we also welcome you, all of you joining us online and on live broadcast. Now, I'm going to call on the next speaker, somebody who I have seen really put her hands and her fingers in the pie to get this working for us. She leads the team. She puts it all together. She weaves it, because the truth is everything needs to be knitted together in order for it to work. I'm going to be calling on the Chief Executive Officer of SANParks, Habilwe Sello. But before she gets up from her seat, I'm going to ask all of us to please cast our eyes to watch the following video the team has put together to give us further context on Kruger National Park. The beauty of technology, gotta love it, gotta hate it. We practiced and practiced and practiced, and then it does this. Let's just try one more time. If not, then we'll call up CE, and then we'll try and play it after his speech. It'd be great to try and start it again, though. Are we good? I'll tell you what, today's a night of celebration. While the technical team is getting it started, please greet somebody next to you and get to know their name. There's going to be a test at the end. I'm going to check if everybody knows everybody. Spot test.
Please also welcome Deputy Minister Bernice.
I'll give you some prompting questions. Find out their favorite color. Fantastic. You are all such good sports. We're ready to proceed. This is the beauty of program directing. Now I said, everyone speak. Now I'm like, don't speak again. Can I get all the attention here on stage, please? We're going to proceed. But before we proceed, I also do just want to acknowledge that our Deputy Minister is in the building, Bernice Swart. So please, a round of applause for her as well. Take two.
There's a place where every sunrise brings more than just light. Where the rivers run deep with history, and the breeze carries stories written long before us. This is Kruger National Park, where the wild heart of Africa beats. And now, a stage is set for the world to gather. Just a few hours by road from Johannesburg, or a smooth flight into the park's Skukuza airport, the journey begins the moment you arrive. Kruger isn't just a park, it's an invitation to connect, to breathe, to feel alive. Here, wild animals aren't behind bars. They walk free. The lion's roar shakes the stillness. A leopard slips through the shadows, and elephants, ancient and majestic, command the path. Whether you're on a guided sunrise drive or taking the wheel yourself across 3,000 kilometers of self-drive roads, Kruger lets you explore your own way. You'll rest easy here in a restored train above the Sabi River, or in a luxury guest house or safari lodge. From bushveld camps to family rendezvous, every space is crafted for comfort. Even meetings feel different here. The Nombolo Mdluli Conference Center is more than a venue. It's where ideas are born. Let go of the rush and experience wellness in the bush. Unwind with spa treatments. This is wellness in its most natural form. There is also so much more that you can do here. Kruger tells stories, not just of animals, but of people, from the artists whose hands shape heritage, to the Braille Trail, where touch becomes sight. When the day winds down, the flavors rise up. From pap and gay meat over a flame, to fine dining beneath a Milky Way ceiling, every dish tells a story from fire to fork. Kruger is also preserving more than wildlife. It's protecting the future. Solar power that fuels the park's heart. At Kruger, hospitality comes as naturally as sunrise. From warm welcomes to professional service, our friendly staff is always ready to assist. In the Kruger, you don't just see Africa, you feel it. You belong to it. You carry it with you long after you've gone. For the traveler, the dreamer, the leader, the lover of life, this is your place. This is your moment. This is your Kruger. Book your adventure today and support our conservation efforts through Sandparks Vision 2040.
Every ship needs a captain, so please help me warmly welcome to stage the Chief Executive Officer of Sandparks, Hapilwe Silo.
Good evening. Minister, we're here. The day has dawned. It's taken a lot for us to get here. Good evening. I'd like to acknowledge firstly Minister of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment, Mr. Willie Aucamp. I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the Minister of Tourism, Honorable Patricia de Lille. Thank you for being with us today. Let me also acknowledge my Deputy Minister of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment, Madame Bernice Swartz, thank you for making it. The Premier of Mpumalanga, Mr. Mandla Ndlovu, welcome. Thank you for joining us. The Limpopo MEC of Economic Development and Tourism, and as well as the Executive Mayor of Bushbuck Ridge, Councillor Murwani, the Executive Mayor of Ehlazeni, Councillor Shabangu. I'd like to also acknowledge the interim chairperson of the board of South African National Parks, as well as all the board members here with us today. Also would like as well to acknowledge the Director General of the Department of the Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment, Ms. Nomfundo Shabalala. All Amahosi who are here with us today, Abundabezita, welcome. And I also would like to give a special welcome to the people that yesterday we signed a beneficiation agreement with the owners of the land that we stand on today. These are the people we called the previously dispossessed landowners of Kruger National Park. Madam Program Director, we are the top 3 mega diverse country in the world. Well, we need a round of applause for that one. We're in the same company as Brazil and Indonesia. So I think sometimes as South Africans, we don't trumpet that enough, don't talk about it enough, and we need to just make sure that the message goes out there. Distinguished guests, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and a warm and a hearty welcome to all of you here. It is an honor and a privilege for me to welcome you to the launch of the Kruger National Park Centenary Commemoration. Tonight we mark 100 years of the existence of one of South Africa's most significant national assets. It's a night of reflection, as it is equally a moment of projection, a moment that calls on us to consider how the lessons of the past must shape the future we build. It is for this reason that this evening we take time to recognize the full story of the Kruger National Park, a story defined by vision and foresight, by scientific achievement and conservation excellence, and by institutional resilience that has earned South African national parks a well-deserved global recognition. Yet it is also a story that demands honesty if we are to take valuable lessons into a sustainable future for this park. Because alongside these achievements is a history that speaks to exclusion and displacement, experiences that were lived by communities who had long-standing relationships with this landscape. As SANParks, we recognize that both realities form part of our heritage. And it is through this honest acknowledgement that this centenary finds its true meaning. Program Director, over the past century, the Kruger National Park has evolved into far more than a conservation area. It's not just about the conserved landscape. We are truly a global leader in conservation. We are also a significant contributor to tourism and economic activity in the country, as well as regionally in the 7 provinces that we operate in. The Kruger is a symbol of South Africa's commitment to managing its natural and cultural heritage, and at the same time it remains a space that continues to evolve. This evolution has required a deliberate shift in how we understand conservation. We are shifting away from isolation towards partnership, from exclusion towards inclusion, and a shift towards a model grounded in shared stewardship because ultimately, the sustainability of conservation depends on this simple truth. Conservation is a shared responsibility. As the people tasked to manage this massive responsibility, it's not only about safeguarding biodiversity, it extends to ensuring that conservation contributes meaningfully to people's lives, that it creates opportunity, supports livelihood, and strengthens the connection between communities and the environment in which they live. In so saying, I'm also declaring that we open this evening's proceedings. We do so with a clear purpose about the future we must strive for, translating our purpose and outlook into tangible outcomes, and honoring those who have contributed to building this institution. Allow me once again to welcome you to this historic occasion. The next century of the Kruger National Park begins now, and it will be shaped by how we move forward together. I thank you. Please enjoy your evening.
Thank you so much to the CEO. I think she can get another round of applause. I think that was absolutely beautiful. One key take point for me reminds me of a quote that says, "The past teaches, the present molds, but only vision shapes the future." There's beauty in celebrating because you start to think, what else do we want to celebrate in the future? How do we then raise the bar? So thank you very much for encapsulating that for us. We're now going to go into the next speaker. And before I call on the speaker, I have to confess. In preparing, there's a few languages that I speak from Mpumalanga, but I don't speak Siswati. But listen to this, wait. But I wanted to give back to the community, so I decided I'm going to give this effort. And I'm going to learn a few things in Siswati. You're not allowed to laugh at that table. Bomake nabobabe, askubeni minyaga lelikhulu yebuhle bokulodvolotwa bwemvelo. A round of applause, I tried. I'll eventually get it right. I'm going to try it again at the end, and I'll eventually get it right. Please help me warmly welcome to stage the Premier of Mpumalanga, Mandla Ndlovu.
Our Program Director, Ms. Gadimeng, Minister of Fisheries, Forests and Environment, Honorable Aucamp, Minister of Tourism, Honorable Dilil, and other ministers that are here, our Deputy Minister, the daughter of the sky, Honorable Bernice, and members of the Provincial Executive Council, Lipompo MEC, for Department of Economic Development, Environment and Tourism, Mr. Matibe, Honorable Matibe, Chairperson of MTPA, our host executive mayor of Bushbuckridge, local municipality, Councillor Mruan, and other mayors that are here, the leadership of South African National Park, our esteemed traditional leaders led by the chairperson of Mpumalanga House of Traditional and Khoisan Leaders, who's also the president of Contralesa, Hoshi Mukwe, Makulangendle, community representative, distinguished guests, environmentalists, rangers and visitors, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Sanbonan, Lochan, Arperi, Dumelang. It is my singular honor and privilege on behalf of the government and the warm, resilient people of Mpumalanga, the place of the rising sun, to also welcome you to this historic, once-in-a-lifetime occasion. Today we gather under the African sky here at Skukuza to celebrate 100 years of the formal proclamation of the Kruger National Park. There are 600,000 centenarians worldwide, but the Kruger National Park remains the finest. A centenary is not just a maker of time, it is a testament to resilience, vision, and dedication. For 100 years, the magnificent expanse of land has stood as a global beacon of conservation leadership, biodiversity protection, and scientific progress. As we celebrate the centennial of our national park under the national theme, our heritage, our future, we acknowledge that the government of President CR worked tirelessly to transform the Kruger National Park into a shared heritage, a place where surrounding communities are no longer spectators, but active stakeholders, partners and beneficiaries of this booming green economy. As the provincial government, we stand here tonight to pay deep tribute to the generation who made this centenary possible. Our brave rangers, the honest men and women on the front line who risk their lives daily to protect our wildlife against the persistent threat of poaching. Our scientists and conservationists whose groundbreaking research keeps the delicate ecosystem thriving. Our neighboring communities whose indigenous knowledge, patience, and partnership have been the foundation of the park's success and survival over the years. The centenary is even more meaningful because it celebrates our recovery. Early this year, severe flooding caused widespread damage to our infrastructure, disrupted tourism, and deeply affected our neighboring communities. But just look around you tonight. Through collective action, shared grit, and collaborative partnership, the park has stood firm, recovered, and welcomed the world back to its gates. For Mpumalanga, the Kruger National Park is not just an environmental treasure, it is our economic crown jewel. It drives inclusive growth, creates vital jobs for our youth, and fuel our tourism industry. As we look forward to the next century, our provincial commitment remains unwavering. We will continue to foster green tourism, unlock local economic empowerment, and protect the sacred land for generations to come. Last year, the word came to our doorstep. This beautiful Skukuza airport welcomed leaders, ministers, and delegates from across the globe as South Africa hosted G20 ministerial meetings, demonstrating that Kruger National Park and Mpumalanga is indeed a destination of global significance. As Mpumalanga province, we are proud that the Kruger National Park continues to showcase our province to the world. Through this centenary celebration, we reaffirm our commitment to growing tourism infrastructure and ensuring inclusive growth for the communities across the province. Let us use this momentous occasion to recommit ourselves to a future where conservation uplifts communities, protects biodiversity, drives inclusive economic growth, and preserves the extraordinary heritage for future generations. To our international visitors, our domestic travelers, and our leadership, thank you for coming to celebrate with us. We invite you to breathe in the fresh bushveld air, listen to the evening chorus of the world, and experience the unmatched hospitality of Mpumalanga. Here in Bushbuck Ridge, there is a special name that is given to a person who is dedicated to his work, a person who spent most of his time addressing what belongs to others, a person who prioritizes the people and their needs, and a leader who respects and honors his party and government obligation. Our Honorable President was here at the end of January to comfort the people of Mpumalanga during the devastating floods. The President was here again at the end of March to address his party. He was also here in April to open last unit at the Kusile Power Station, and today he was expected to be here to celebrate with us this historic moment. Again, the President will be here next week in Sekunda to launch another important government initiative. So we'll accept the apology of the President. We know that the President will always prioritize us. And I think that the name, that important name that is given to a person that is dedicated to work for others, the person that his role is determined by his organization and the people, I think that name is befitting to be given to the President. This name that is given to a dedicated, a tireless, a selfless, and fearless leader, Makhula ngendlela. Makhula katsi. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome all of you to Mpumalanga, the place of not only the rising sun, but also where the sun was created at the Makonja mountain. Please do extend your stay and enjoy the beauty that our province offers. Thank you for your attention. You're all welcome to Mpumalanga province.
Yes. I loved it when the band started playing. I was like, I'm not sure if I'm meant to sing, but I don't have a singing voice. I just speak. Thank you so much to you, Premier, for coming. I was really excited, Premier, to find out where you come from. There's a song I've discovered, Yale Kompo, it's a Bushback Ridge. So I'm hoping we'll be able to dance to that after here, because I found out that's where you come from. I usually get the honor of introducing a number of people on stage, particularly leaders in various countries. But today I get the honor of inviting this particular leader on stage for the first time. So I thought, in the spirit of firsts, first 100, first time, I would introduce you in this manner. And yes, I did go pull out your whole ID name as well as part of the introduction. Bosbou visserye en die omgewing bly sentraal tot Suid-Afrika se volhoubare groei, omgewing, bestuur en ekonomiese veerkragtigheid. Gerespekteerde gaste, sluit asseblief by my aan om 'n warm welkom te bied aan die leier van hierdie departement, Willem, Abraham, Stefanus, Willie, Aucamp. Minister van Bosbou, Visserye en die omgewing van die Republiek van Suid-Afrika na die verhoog. Dankie.
And with all those many names, I have not inherited a thing yet. So hopefully my hopes are still there. In the absence of the President, for whom I have given an apology, but I still want to thank him for his efforts to be here. The Minister of Tourism, Patricia de Lille, thank you so much for being here. I'll speak a little bit more about her later on. The Deputy Minister of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment, one of my right hands, Ms. Bernice Swartz. The Mpumalanga Premier, who has just spoken to us, Mr. Mandla Ndlovu. MECs, MMCs, mayors that are here. The Director General of my department, Ms. Nomfundo Shabalala, and the rest of the DFFE team. Guys, we've got a wonderful team there, and I want you to give a round of applause to all of them. To the interim chairperson of the Sandparks Board, Ms. Beryl Ferguson, as well as the other Sandparks Board members. They are a loud bunch. We had dinner 2 nights ago in the train restaurant here at Shalati. My ears are still paining a bit. Also to the CEO of Sandparks, Ms. Apil Weselo, to our traditional leaders that are here, members of the media with whom we have had very nice interactions over the last 2 days, to our wonderful program director, there you are. Look, if you can wing it like she did when the video didn't work, you are fantastic. Thank you very much. And then to all of you that are here, each and every one of you tonight has got some connection with this wonderful park. Welcome to all of you. Let's have a great evening. Ladies and gentlemen, the tapestry of the Kruger National Park's history is one that was woven with different threads. Threads of conservation, threads of resilience, and threads of an enduring bond between people and nature. In 1898, the then president of the ZAR, Paul Kruger, gave the instruction that this southern part be declared as a conservation area, which led to the establishment of the Sabi Nature Reserve, or Game Reserve. Later on, in the north, the Shingwechi Nature Reserve was established. And on the 31st of May, 1926, the central part, which we now know north of the Sabi River, the area there at Willie van Sletaba, Satara, that area, was incorporated, so the south and the north was combined. And on the 31st of May, tomorrow, 100 years ago, the Kruger National Park was officially formed. There was a delicate balance that was forged between conservation, scientific research, and tourism over this last 100 years. Those 3 legs formed the basis of the management of the Kruger National Park. Coming to myself on a personal level, I grew up in Sanin. My father was a dominee there. And every time that we played rugby or did athletics at Palaborwa, we had to come to the Kruger National Park. So we basically grew up here. I remember watching a movie countless times in the amphitheater at Satara. I remember countless nights around a campfire with my mother and father and my brothers and my sister. I remember every time that we went on a game drive, having a competition, who's going to see the first lion, who's going to see the most animals. We are a competitive bunch. I also remember asking my wife to marry me in this beautiful park. And that was last week, 20 years. Last week, 20 years ago that we got married. Thank you for your support, Marley. I also remember coming here for the second part of our honeymoon. And now I'm not going to say anything further on that. Ladies and gentlemen, what I've experienced as a child, I have over many years recreated with my family, with my children, with my friends, of whom a number of them are here tonight. Evan, Tanya, François, Jana, I'm so glad that you can join this moment with us. I remain deeply passionate about this wonderful place. The Kruger National Park is not merely a conservation area. It is a living classroom. It's a source of inspiration, and it's a national treasure that has touched the lives of generations of South Africans, and it will for centuries and centuries to come. Yesterday was another milestone in the history of this park, as the Kruger family actually expanded. We signed a beneficiation agreement with all of the 7 land claimant communities in and around the Kruger National Park. This agreement will not only improve the socio-economic outcomes of these land claimant communities, but it will ultimately be the beginning of creating more memories for youngsters from all walks of life. It's a new beginning for people and communities that has got a very long bond with the place that we call Kruger. They have been here even before this park was established in 1889 first, and then also in 1926. Conservation must exist within society. It must contribute to sustainable livelihoods. It must support development, and it must reflect the values of inclusion and dignity. To this end, ladies and gentlemen, and especially our traditional leaders that are here tonight, this newly signed beneficiation agreement is a fundamental principle that conservation must create value, not only for biodiversity, but also for the people who live alongside and share a deep connection with these landscapes. This milestone agreement now enables us to drive transformation in the biodiversity sector by promoting the rights of ownership, of participation, of responsibilities of all stakeholders. As a democratic government, we embrace the complexity of our history and all its richness and all its sadness. But we are drawing lessons from the past so that we can strengthen the future going ahead. And that is what yesterday meant for me. We are changing the history of this park for generations to come. I said earlier on that this park over the last 100 years had a balance between conservation, between scientific research, and between tourism. We have yesterday added a 4th leg to this table, and that is the one of total community participation. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, a 4-legged table is much more stable than a 3-legged one. This will be the future of the park. This evening's event calls not only for reflection and celebration, but it also demands clarity. Clarity about where we come from and where we are going. The Kruger National Park stands today as one of the most recognized conservation landscapes in the world. And by the way, 30 is not good enough. We've got to get #1 position. Let me just tell that to you. We will have that, Tommy. We'll get there. The Kruger National Park reflects foresight at a time when such foresight was rare. And I'm talking about 100 years ago now. It reflects decades of scientific progress, of institutional commitment, and the sustained efforts of generations. We are clear that the future of conservation in South Africa lies with inclusive stewardship, a responsibility that we all have got to take on. Over the last 100 years, there were remarkable people that contributed to the legacy and heritage of the Kruger National Park. I can name a few, but I will never be able to name all of them. Paul Kruger, James Stevenson Hamilton, Harry Voliter, David Mabunda, which I believe is with us tonight. Is Mr. Mabunda here? Where are you, Mr. Mabunda? There's Mr. David Mabunda. Let's give him a round of applause. Dr. Tolpinar, whose son Dani is here with us. Oscar Mtimkulu. Oscar, you're a giant, my friend. You are a giant. Later tonight, we will be giving long service awards, as well as some posthumous awards, as well as special recognition awards to some of those giants whose footsteps we are now walking in. Do we realize what the responsibility is that we now carry? Dani, if you look back at the work that your dad has done here, when I was a young boy, the name Tolpinar, I read the Kustos. Oh, they were heroes of mine, not only Naas Botha, I can promise you that. I am a blue bull, by the way. I also would like to thank various other organizations, such as the Honorary Rangers. Our neighbors in the Sabi Sands, Mala Mala, Timbavati, Klaseri, Umbabat, Balule. I can name a number of those private-owned parks that's now incorporated into the Kruger National Park. Just yesterday, we've received 4 Polaris vehicles from the Kruger Park Wildlife Forum and the Pure Wild Fund. We've got such a lot of partners that has walked this road with us over the last 100 years. We cannot walk this road alone. And going forward, I'm sure that we will not walk this road alone because we've got people that love this place and that supports us. These partnerships are not mere symbolic, but they are a testament of 100 years of strong relationships, perseverance, and a collective responsibility to and love for the Kruger National Park. Ladies and gentlemen, I said earlier on that I will speak a bit about Minister Patricia de Lille. Earlier this year, we had the devastating floods. And before I get to you, Minister de Lille, just allow me to also get to the Kruger National Park team. I was here on the weekend of the 5th, 6th of January for a normal management meeting with the Sandparks team. And whilst I was here, we got forewarning of this weather pattern that's coming in. And all of a sudden, those management meetings turned into planning meetings. Planning of how are we going to evacuate people? How are we going to make sure everybody is safe? After all these floods, Kruger National Park, we were full. It was the December holidays. There were a lot of people here. They all were evacuated safely. Not one person got injured or killed. And I think we can thank the team of Oscar and Kathy and everybody in the Kruger National Park. But ladies and gentlemen, there is now a huge recovery effort. I have immediately after that formed the Kruger Recovery Fund. The total damage to the Kruger National Park is more than R1 billion. And now I want to speak about my colleague Patricia de Lille, the Minister of Tourism. I phoned her and I said, please help me. Please help me so that we can rebuild Kruger. Minister de Lille, I don't think it was 2 days. She came back to me and she said, tourism will make available 56 million rand for funding for EPWP workers. Minister de Lille, I thank you again for that. I thank you for your collegiality and for the fact that I can just pick up a phone. I really, really have got a lot of respect for you. Thank you so much for that. Ladies and gentlemen, but what these floods also taught us is the resilience of the Kruger family. Over 100 years, lots of successes, lots of failures, lots of hardships, lots of triumphs. But we've always came through. And we will do that for hundreds of years to come. Our responsibility is to raise this generation now so that they can accept this stewardship and can take this baton and go forward so that our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren and theirs will still be able in 100 and 200 years' time from now to sit alongside the Sabi River, to watch a herd of elephant going through the Sabi River, to listen to the roar of a lion at night, to play a game in the car, seeing who's the best of the siblings. I hope that that legacy can continue. I realize that we are walking in the footsteps of giants. We truly are. Their vision, their perseverance, and their deep abiding love for nature gave us the Kruger National Park. They dreamt beyond their time of a landscape where elephants roam, where lions rule, and where the ancient rhythms of the wild echo through the bush for generations to come. As a united people, that legacy now rests in our hands. I want to thank you for celebrating 100 years of Kruger. We all love this place. I will come here when I'm an old man. I teased my children that they'll have to push me in my wheelbarrow here one day. But I love this place. I know you all do. Let us accept this responsibility and let us really make sure that the Kruger that we love will remain here as it is for centuries to come. I thank you.
Thank you. If I could please ask the team to just help me with wheeling up the cake on stage. We're going to partake in the cake cutting shortly. Just for health and safety reasons, I'm going to allow them to just do that before I invite everybody else that I need on stage. Always health and safety first. We're going to celebrate together. So feel free to play some background music as we get it all prepared. So feel free to do that. The band, you can play some background music so that we can then get ourselves set up here on stage. Thank you so much. It is. Can I ask you and I to just stand here at the back here so we don't go and bash it? Y'all are incredible, man. A round of applause, please, for the band and them being absolutely flexible. Now, after hearing the minister's speech, I want to ask, are you part of designing? There's the siblings, the animals, where you got engaged. No, I'm joking. They don't have any of that on the cake. Could I please ask the following people to please join me on stage? The CEO of Sandparks, could I please ask you to join us on stage? Minister DeLille, please can you join us on stage? Deputy Minister, where is she? Oh, there. Berenice Watts, please can you join us on stage? Could I please ask the chair of the board for Sandparks to also then join us on stage? And Premier, could you please join us back on stage as well? You can make a round of applause. Please, a round of applause as they make their way to stage. There are our leadership who will help us to take this forward for the next 100 years as they help us mold here in the future. So to celebrate 100 years, it is symbolic of a birthday. And we thought what we wanted to do was have an opportunity to sing happy birthday to KNP, as they fondly call it, Kruger National Park. And then we'll all then get to also share in the piece of cake at dessert time then after dinner. I'm not sure if the choir is here to help us sing that happy birthday, but I think the band can then help us to do that. Please don't let me lead sing anything. So if you're able to help us sing happy birthday, then please can you help me to be able to do that? Shall we? Birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kruger. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kruger. Happy birthday to you. I'm so sorry, I didn't see Bobak. Where's my police? I don't see it. Thank you. Kunjani na? Once they're done with the